Gloves are off. Last bit, 4x75 to go. So here we go, London Marathon training begins, 20 weeks to go, and we're heading up onto the trails for a workout. So when we get up to the top, ready to start the workout, we'll cover what we've been doing this week so far, the structure of these next few weeks before we look into specific training, and yeah, go through the week in general. So let's get a quick warm-up done, and I'll see you up there. There we go, warm up done. So a couple of things to tackle before we get into the workout. So the structure of this video is going to simply be, I'll give you a quick recap of the week. We'll roll through the workout Friday today, tell you how I fueled, all of that stuff, get the workout done, and we'll talk about what's coming up next. So this week has been great so far. Started off with a 60-minute steady run, and that was really good. I forgot my heart rate strap, or I should say it died on me. So heart rate readings were a bit sketchy that day, but either way, I felt really good, really happy with that. And then I had a really quality session on Tuesday. I doubled that day, and I did 20 by 80 seconds on, off 60 seconds, which ended up being around 400 meters per rep, roughly there or thereabouts, and I averaged 5:07 per mile or 3:11 per k for that session. Massive fitness jump, so happy with that. Got that done, and a 2-mile warm down, and I also did 40 minutes easy that day too, testing out the Nova Blast 4. And then Wednesday I had a 50-minute steady run again. Fatigue was there in that one, because I did the session in the evening. Fatigue was a bit higher than it normally would. I normally do my session in the morning, but that was still really good, and at that point I clocked around 33 or 34 miles. Rest day on Thursday, and we're now here today. And so that brings me to the second session of the week. Now this is a hilly session, or an undulating session. Will, as per the summer, wants me to do one session on the tarmac and one session on undulation. So for me, I'm self-employed. What I've decided to do, and actually what my wife suggested this block, is why don't you get up early for your run, but don't run, work. Get that time that you would normally be out running in the dark done, and then do the school run and then go out for your run. So that's exactly what I've done. It's just coming up to 9 o'clock now, and I'm just about to get underway. So I got up this morning, worked hard, wore my wife's Christmas Disney Oodie, no shame there, and yeah, got on with that, got it done. In terms of fueling today, maltodextrin, that's what I fueled with. I'm kind of in a position where I'm starting to really try and train the gut. I'm not fueling. Will doesn't want me to fuel on any runs whilst I'm out at the moment. Save that for when we get specific in the marathon phase later on. But I'm kind of just trying to get my stomach used to maltodextrin again and get as much in there as possible. Train it, make sure it settles nicely. So I'm doing a simple 1-to-1 ratio where I use 200 grams of maltodextrin, which is about 3.5 scoops, and 200 millilitres of water. Mix that up, and it comes out a little bit like the Morton drink mix. And I had that an hour ago, so now we're here at the session, done my warm-up, and we're rolling into 8-minute tempo off 90 seconds, so a nice easy 90-second jog recovery. And then we're doing 4 by 3.5 minutes, which effectively out here for me is going to be around 4 by a k, and then and all of those are off 90 seconds as well. And then I'm doing 4 by 75 seconds off 60 seconds, so nearly 400 meters. So effectively 8-minute tempo, 4 by a k, 4 by 400 meters if you want to put it in distance, but it's in time. And the reason for that is we're heading out here on an undulating trail. You'll see terrain. You'll see exactly where we are in a second. Right here, baby. The green gate. This is where we're starting, just like in the summer and just like now. So 9:05. As you can see, plumbed it into my watch, run 8 minutes. So we're going to head out this way, and it goes up a hill, down a hill, big hill, and then up onto the cycle track, uphill, up a little rise, flattens out. At that point, I'll see where I am. I'm going to end up keep running. It kind of goes flat and then down a bit. And I have a feeling we're going to be turning around and doing the third 3.5 minute back uphill on the flat, and then the 75s are going to be back down the cycle track and then up the monster hill before coming back onto this concrete. So that's the idea of this. No pace goals. That is for Tuesday's session. Today is all about effort, working hard on the undulations, feeling strong. It's what I talk about all the time. It's why me and Will get on so well, because he's fully on board with the whole idea of working to strength as well, working on these terrains, building up strength in the body. Ditch the watch, ditch the paces, get out there and chase after it.
Right then, Mr. Radar. It's good to be saying that. Currently doing this from the Red Lion Wetherspoons Gatwick North Terminal at 3:20 a.m. So bear with me whilst my brain wakes up. Back on it with week 1 of your London Marathon 20-week build. And the beginning weeks, they're going to be very much 10k specific work. You need to build it first, otherwise you will lose it during the block, and it's incredibly important. So before I keep rambling on forever, we're going to have 2 sessions this week. So your first session is going to be 20 times 80 seconds with a 60-second rest. Then the second session of the week, well, we have an 8-minute tempo, 90-second rest. 4 times 3.5 minutes, 90-second rest, and then 4 times 75 seconds, 60-second rest. Let me know how it goes. Just keep your long run to 90 minutes. We're just going to be doing that until we hit the marathon specific block. But until then, have a good week, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Time to get after it. Oh yeah, Saucony Kinvaras as well. As always, best race shoe at the moment. Oh no, wait, hold on. GPS is having a wobbly. We'll start again. GPS is ready. Good luck. Let's go. Try again. Okay, massively overdressed, it's warm, and I forgot where to start. So I just pushed that tempo up the hill. I did not want to push it up, so I just tempoed up a hill. I usually stop at the bottom of that, recover up and hit the first rep at the top there. I've just tempoed right over it. 5:42, that's decent. It's really decent considering. Now onto the 4 by 3.5 minutes. Ooh, 2 of them done. These trails are like mud baths. It's very hard to stay upright. 5:33 and 5:30, I think. This next one's going to be uphill, and I think the 4th one as well. So I'm expecting slower paces, but the same effort. Okay, the gloves are off. Last bit, those second 2 were 5:40 something uphill, and then 5:50 something even more uphill. I was actually really happy with that last one because there was one heck of a short, sharp stinger in there. So yeah, I did think 6 pace was on the cards, but no, we did it well. Now 4 by 75 to go. Oh, the lactate built in that one. That was uphill. Still a really fast pace, but yeah, that one burned. Good to save that to the end. 2 more. Oh, there we go. Last 2 done. Good paces there as well. Finished the last one up this hill, about halfway up it. So it was a good little stinger at the end. So 2 of those 400s had a good little incline in them. Very, very happy, or 75 seconds I should say. That was a really good workout, and I keep saying it on the channel in the shoe reviews. Kinvaras, they're pretty darn good. If you want a shoe that you can barely feel on your feet, that you feel like you're doing all the work, they are definitely a good choice shoe. So cool down now. Okay, so we'll just jump onto Strava very shortly. Couple of post-run thoughts that I want to share with you. Number 1, shoes. I said it out there, but the GoPro died. Those Kinvara, they're just something else. They really have been incredible, especially considering the trails. That's the second thing I wanted to mention. The state of those trails out there was just nothing like what I was using back in the summer. Obviously, it's really nice to be back out there using those undulations to my benefit, but my word, there was some waterlogged bits, slipping and sliding, but to be fair, the shoes held up really, really well. It's lovely to have a pair of shoes that are so lightweight. You just absolutely feel like there's almost nothing on your feet, but you're getting enough cushioning that you need, and especially out there, not on the hard tarmac, you kind of get that extra bounce from the trail as well. It was just really nice. So yeah, really, really solid. I want to show you a couple of things on here. Okay, so the undulation on here looks absolutely pathetic. It's nothing like what it feels like when you're out there. But I'll just go through these chunks here that you can see. So this is the first 8-minute tempo, and you can see here, I mentioned out there, you go along, you go up this first hill, then you go along the nice long down. And what I wanted to do was basically stop the tempo around here. Completely forgotten that if I was doing a 6-minute tempo, that's where you stop. But I was doing 8 minutes, so I went all the way up that rise there and finished at the top. So I was a little bit gassed and a little bit worried that I pushed a bit too hard. So I was quite impressed, and if you look at the gap pace on that one, 5:27 per mile. So I really did push probably a bit too hard, and it probably affected the 4x1K or 4x330. Not so much the last bit, I kind of regathered myself a bit, but these first couple in particular, you can see the elevation here. These are kind of net downhill reps, and I didn't really get going at this point. You can see here the gap pace, I mean 5:35. The trails were waterlogged, as I said, but even so, I felt like I'd gassed myself a bit on that tempo. And I tell my athletes, I say, use it as a extended warm-up, really, just get yourself warmed into it. So when I hit that hill, I was kind of like, oh man, I'm committed. So yeah, that's not the way to do it. Anyway, these two here, they were uphill, so you can see here a very faint grey line at the bottom. The uphill kind of kicks in around halfway through, and that was gentle uphill. Really happy with that 5:43. But this one was the chunky boy. This was hard. This was tough. This had a real short, sharp stinger in it, and to run 5:52 up there, I was really, really happy. And by that point, I kind of got to the fact that I was just like, I'm back to the waterlogged trail section, but I've got 4x75 to go. And on Tuesday I did 20x80 seconds. So I was like, I can do this. So these first two here, you can see with a gradient, gently uphill, but again, really quick. And this one had the decent uphill in it, and I still split like 5:17 per mile. I'm trying to find the gap pace for there, look, 5 flat. So I was really, really happy with that. The gap pace on all these four were decent, 5:07, 5 flat, 5:10 and 5 flat. That fourth one, that's where I clocked 4:59 per mile, but gentle downhill there, hence why the gap pace on that one was 5:10. And then this last one here, 5:06, this is one where I finished on the uphill. So again, really, really happy with that. And to be fair, overall, I can't complain. It was a pretty solid workout. So just very quickly before we go, I did say I've mentioned the structure. So at the moment, for the next 4 to 5 to maybe 6 weeks, it's going to be 2 pretty hard workouts a week, very similar to what we were doing in half marathon training and even back in 10k training, but the long runs will be slightly longer. And then come January, maybe mid-January, things will flip around and we'll go back to what we were doing after speaking with Coach Will. Looks like we'll be doing sort of like a medium long run again, just 1 session a week and then a good long run workout. I'm really, really looking forward to that. But for now, I'm going to utilize these 2 workouts a week and just try and get as strong as possible. So we'll leave this episode there, guys. Great session out there today, 2 great sessions this week. one more run to bank. And the last thing for me to mention, all my training is being documented on my website, so you can head over there, fodrunner.com. I'm putting it out in a blog post, so I'll be documenting it each week. So if you don't have Strava, you can go over there, be nosy and have a look at every week that I do. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do consider giving it a like, share it with your friends, and of course subscribe to the channel for weekly running content. And I'll see you next week. Until then,